Insa, I've got a lovely tale for you. So imagine an 85-year-old woman whose life had basically been growing up in the country, tending cows, hoeing corn. She had been married, she'd raised 3 children, and she helped run a gift shop. Fine. As a holiday, they would go to, and I quote, a fishing hole. So that was her life, right? She was 85 years old, and her husband died, and she told her grandson one day that she'd never seen a mountain, right? So she's now 92, and she's been on a tour of 63 national parks. She's based in the United States.
This is Joy Ryan.
This is Joy, who still hasn't got a passport. So the only national park she hasn't seen is the National Park of American Samoa, and she has to get a passport for the first time in her life. So her grandson, Brad, is 41, who's been travelling around with her. They knocked off the first 28 on a pretty tight budget. They were camping and eating noodles. And he says that we got in over our heads on certain trails where I begged her to let me carry her on my back, but she wouldn't let me do it. So they've just had this, like, 7-year adventure together, touring all the national parks.
So this is Brad and his granny in the pictures.
This is Brad and Joy together. Joy Ryan, 92 years old, still going. Getting her first passport soon.
Well, maybe when she goes abroad, she'd like to go here, because it turns out that the Leaning Tower of Pisa is no longer the most tower in the world. If you thought that before, you're wrong. Because now the most leaning tower in the world is in a little German village, I'm probably going to say this wrong, in Gau Weinhelm, and is about to be awarded the accolade of the world's most tilted tower. Is
it as tall as the Tower of Pisa?
No. Can you see this picture? I'm not sure that we'll be able to do justice to it here. It's it's not a technical term, but it's quite a stumpy tower, I would say. So it's not very tall, but it leans at a spectacular 5.3 degrees, which is substantially more than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. The Leaning Tower of Pisa now is 3.97 degrees, right, because they stopped the lean, because they moved in, because that was over 5.5. But now this little village in Germany.
They're not fixing this one then.
No, they're proud of it. They're hoping that it's going to become a reason to go and visit the town. They apparently do very good white wine locally, and they're hoping it's going to bring in people. But it costs quite a lot of money. It costs 17,000 euros to enter the Guinness Book of Records. So that's why they haven't done it before. But it's been there leaning, obviously, for quite some time, and now has the accolade of the most leaning tower in the world.
Won't ever be as popular as the Leaning Tower of Pisa, though, will it? Or get the name, the Leaning Tower of... What's the German?
Gau Weinhelm. The Leaning Tower of Gau Weinhelm. Well, it might still work. It might get work.
Quick one. I don't think that is very... I think it's a bit stressful trying to pronounce words like that. But what do you think is... If you were going to calm yourself down, lots of people do need kind of some soothing now.
No, sorry, I was just reading the very... I was going to read the last line. It's now been literally ripped.
Oh, do you know what?
It was the town chronicler I was going to quote, because he's very proud.
Who's Erdwin Gottschlich, the village chronicler, said it was unclear why the beautiful and very unusual building had assumed such a strong tilt, adding it might be because the foundation kept subsiding.
Yeah, he said, genius. He said it might be because the foundations are subsiding.
Well,
it's insight, isn't it?